Davis, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure to have you. I've seen a lot of stuff, and you're being labeled as a tackling machine.
Yeah.
How does that sound to you when you hear that?
Yeah, awesome. One of my goals coming into this year really is to break the tackle record for Staples. So that's kind of what I want to be known as. So
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got an important job. You're kind of in the middle of the defense there.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to keep, knowing everybody to go, calling the plays and all that stuff. But I want to before we talk about this year, talk a little bit about last year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you were, an integral part of that championship team.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you see? Well, let's start this. What's your best memory from last year?
Got to be the state championship. I was right next to Max, like when he made the tackle on the line, like right at the touchdown, at the end zone line. It was such a surreal moment. Just like I'm there and I see the pass going in the air. I see Armani catch it. And then I see Max come out of nowhere and tackle him short of the line. And I was just like, I was honestly stunned. Like, I was just like one of the best feelings in the world. And by far my favorite moment.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because it's not even a moment that you played. You're on the play, but it's like one moment you made. So it's about the team, right?
Yeah.
And we talk to your coach a lot, and they always talk about how you have this team mentality first.
Mm-hmm.
And you've played football all your life.
Mm-hmm.
But anything that, I guess, early days or it's just in you about always putting the team first?
Well, I think that honestly goes back to like PAL days. Like that's just where the culture is kind of instilled. And it's like, it goes back to like the summer work before the season. Like everyone's just out there grinding, and it's kind of like, you don't get to see the rewards right away, I guess. And it's kind of just like, I feel like that kind of builds the bond because you're all working together for this overall goal. And I think that really like builds the connection between the team.
I totally agree. I think of, and we cover all the sports, but, understanding a little bit about football, it's one of the few sports that, if not everyone does their job on the play, it's really hard to make it work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of like, if you have one stud on the team, sure, you might go somewhat far, but if you just have one key player, like people will find ways to shut that down. It's really just about the whole team, how you come together and how you guys all play together.
Yeah, and it's funny you brought that. The team. Listen, I was around you guys all last year, and we're recording this. You guys are 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really. I've been impressed by the play so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna go as far as say you're better than last year because it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
But I'm as confident as I was in last year. How do you guys feel inside that locker room?
Yeah, I'm super confident. I think we really had a wake-up call in the scrimmages before the season, and I think we really got it together ever since then. And we've been flying around at practice. Our practices have been intense, but they've been really good. And I'm really confident going into this Maloney game. And everyone's saying it's our first big game, first big test, and I'm confident in our game plan, and I think we're gonna go out there and get the job done.
Yeah, I look at your schedule and always coming from an optimistic view. It's like I don't see a loss anywhere in there, but I'll say this. You guys, the play that you got so far has been incredible. So talk about, the defense side. And I kind of want to highlight a little bit of that, the Ridgefield game number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that game was close early on, but then like you guys have a couple of different plays. It sticks in my mind that play where you actually, you rushed through the middle and you pushed the quarterback out, and then Charlie, came and got a sack. But that was a very important play in that game.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you.
Yes,
I know that you created that.
Yeah, I came off the edge, and I was just looking for that sack, and I came through, dove for the legs. He squeezed out of the top. Charlie came around, did his job, was pursuing behind the QB and made a great play with that strip sack there. I think you're definitely right. That did turn the game. I think our defense was just going crazy that whole game. We were doing really good. 7 points. It's a big deal for the defense.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, both times that they drove down, you guys came up with an interception. Right?
Yeah, Jack Stoller. Yeah.
And I always feel like those interceptions are really about the pressure that you guys get on that line and the quarterback, and it rushes him.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot easier because if he sits there all day, they're going to make the throw. But you guys are doing a really good job on that.
Yeah, that's definitely been something we've been working on, like all through the off season. I think last year we were good at it, but maybe not as good as I think this year. We've really focused on our pass rushing skills, and I think we've really refined that, and we've came up with a way to really get that pressure on the QB and help our DBs out.
100%. And I had Coach here, Coach Adam, and he talked about how he felt the line this year was a little bit deeper than it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, you probably don't have, like you said, the studs, but you do have more depth and more of a group that really, like you said, goes after the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that could be the difference in the championship.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it really helps having that depth there because, I mean, football is a violent game. If people are going to get hurt, things happen.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps in our confidence.
And I think the violence is what everybody loves about it, right?
Yeah.
But, I, like I said, personally, all I want is you guys get a championship again. I'm sure you think the same way.
Yeah.
That's all you want. You won that game, right? You want a chance to play for it all. But let's talk about you a little bit. So next year you're playing ball at Amherst, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So how was your recruiting process? How did that come about? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I honestly feel like I started maybe a little later than some people. After my junior year, made my highlight tape. And that's when I really figured out I want to play college ball. Put together my highlight tape, posted on Twitter. Twitter's really big for the recruitment.
Really?
So,
I'm sorry, I didn't know that really.
Yeah. It's like kind of where it all goes down, I guess. It's like you post your highlight tape there. Coach is like, can see your highlight tape there. Follow you, DM you, be like, hey, I want you at this camp. And then you go. The camps are a really big deal. Like that's where you go, show out, really impress the coaches. And that sort of thing, get to know them.
Are these camps like full tackle or is it like more of a touch?
No, so it's some of them you'll have pads, some of them you won't, some of them you'll have just helmets. It really all depends, and they all kind of follow like same sort of schedule, like beginnings, like combine stuff, numbers, 40-yard time, 5, 10, 5, all that sort of stuff, and then you go into like drills, position-specific skills. So, they'll have me, like linebacker, for example, do, like, shuffle, that sort of thing, moving around. And then the end usually ended up with, like, 1v1s, that sort of thing. So, see me out in coverage.
Did you always want to play linebacker?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny. I didn't play linebacker until my freshman year. All through PAL, I played O-line and D-line. And I honestly wasn't much of a – I didn't play too much. But, I just really loved football. 8th grade, I guess, I kind of was sort of like viewing linebacker, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, I really like that. But it wasn't until freshman year when I really got out there and started playing linebacker and loved it ever since. And
that's a cool story to say right there because I'm around a lot of players, and sometimes when you mentioned like you didn't play a lot early on, and some people get discouraged about that, right? I mean, like if it doesn't happen right away, you kind of stop working.
Yeah.
How did you get through those years where you really weren't playing much?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was younger, it was kind of just like I just loved being around with my friends, hanging out. Like practices were the best. Like, didn't really have to worry much about schoolwork, whatever. Like it was just getting out there, like hanging out with the boys. It's basically just like 3 hours of just talking to your friends. So that's honestly what kept me going, hanging out with my friends. And I honestly loved tackling people too, which I think you got it at linebacker. So
yeah, it's when I remember when I interviewed Coach Philpott and I asked him about last year. I said linebackers are really aggressive. He goes, well, you pick someone to play linebacker because he's aggressive. Yeah. That's the whole point of it, right? Because you're attacking that thing, and it's tough. How do you how do you do post game? Like, let's say you go through a very tough game. What's your Saturday like? Recuperating.
Recover. Yeah. So like, I mean, I do this thing called I drink this thing called tart cherry juice, which is like kind of like a recovery drink. It's
what is that drink?
It's like it's just like I honestly like the taste of it. A lot of people don't. It's like tart. I mean, it's cherry juice, so it's like it's not the best, but
Yeah.
I enjoy drinking it, and it's like it kind of just helps like inflammation, that sort of thing. Saturday maybe I'll go to like cryo, something like that, help out my body. But other than that, just like rolling out, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you're, senior year here now. I'm sure like it's got to be something out of those we talked about last year, but like what have been your favorite moments? Being part of the Wreckers team here. Maybe something off the field, something that kind of like you're gonna cherish with you.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, obviously the championship. I would go with honestly like some practices, just like hanging out with the boys and like you're out there. You might be like chirping some of your buddies about like dropping the ball or something, and that's just like the best times. Like, I mean, my favorite all-time practice moment has got to be like me and my friend Charlie Leahy. Obviously, yeah, he's a great player. Let's see, my junior year last year, we would like 1v1 and do like O-line, D-line, like just like messing around. And like one time I got the better of him, like pancaked him, and it was just like so fun to just like mess with him about it and he'd get, it's just fun like messing with your boys.
Well, yeah, now it's recorded forever. He's gonna.
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah.
He talked about it on the podcast. Yeah, it's all.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm sure I'll have him here, and I'm sure he'll have a story about you too.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's what's great about it. I feel like the camaraderie that you guys build in football, it's really different than all the other sports because you really depend on each other a lot when you get out there.
Yeah.
And what do you expect next year to be like for you in college and playing? I mean, what you're gonna play linebacker next year too? Is that how you got recruited as a linebacker?
Yeah.
So you're going in there. Talk a little bit about Amherst football. What do you know about it, and what do you think it's going to be like next year?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I mean, going to college, obviously, kind of uncertainty, but I'm super excited. I think the guys on the team are going to be great. Honestly, you can't really expect to play too much as a freshman. But I mean, that's obviously my goal, to get on the field. Really like my coaches. I've been talking to them. I'm actually going up for a visit pretty soon during our bye week. Go watch a game. But yeah.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not going to ask you what game you're looking forward to this year because I know you're going to give me the Coach Barron's line, we're on to Maloney, right? I mean, that's what it's going to talk about.
Uh-huh.
But I do remember, your performance on that game against Greenwich in Thanksgiving was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the entire defense of that game was they're just surreal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this year, I know we're gonna have some really good games. New Canaan is gonna be an awesome game.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
That one's gonna be an awesome. I can't wait for that one. I also think that you're always gonna look forward to Greenwich. They're coming in this year. You're gonna look forward to all those games. But and I mean, you don't get to we don't play prep this year, regular season. No.
Yeah.
We do
playoffs,
play prep?
Playoffs.
Maybe playoffs.
Yeah,
Exactly. But I mean, it's been such a phenomenal year so far for those two games. Team a little bit different than last year, still very good in the secondary and all that stuff. But in your view, what's been the team's strength so far this year?
Gotta go with the front seven. I think that plays a big role. I think our DBs have really stepped up and have been really good. Obviously, Jack Soler, the 2 interceptions in Ridgefield, that was huge. But I think our front seven is just amazing. I think we'll be able to go far with our front seven, our whole D line, our linebackers. We've got some great returning guys. Cody Goldman, Charlie, Callum McLean, who's a senior, but he played JV last year, but I mean, he's really good too.
And he did really good in rugby too. I'm covering him. He's a really big time rugby player.
Yeah. And we got Eddie too on the line, and now we got Amir Williams on the nose tackle, who might not heard much of last year, but I think we'll hear a lot of him this year.
Yeah, and he's big on the Superfans account too.
Oh yeah,
guys. I know all about him here. Absolutely. And does it? And this is, I think it's more a question for Nick, but I'll ask it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
When I always been around, teams that win championship, they always talk about how practicing against their own defense or vice versa against the offense helps. You're going up against, in defense a lot of times, you're going against Nick, who's having a really good year throwing the ball around. When you see such a good offense on the other line, does that help you guys to prepare for your games?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that plays a key role in scouting out the opponent. Like if they have a really good player on their team, like you'll have a good player on our team, like pretend to be that guy, and then we'll like play our coverages based on him and all that sort of stuff. And then I think that really helps just prepare us, because like the best competition we're going to see is our team. And if we can play against our team, then I think we can play against anyone.
I couldn't agree more. And when I'm coming with that, the other day I saw, I think it's not football, it was soccer, but the guy was talking about they won the World Cup, and he said that, we won 7 games, World Cup, but we lost every single scrimmage we had against our backups. And he's like, this just fueled us so much to go, because the toughest competition was our own. And it's funny you're talking about you go one-on-one with Charlie. How do you guys handle that, having such much, because we do have a lot of talent on the team. You guys are a very talented team.
Yeah.
So how does that really, like, as a day-to-day practice, how does that make it more fun for you?
Yeah, well, I think the competition is great. I mean, I'm a competitive guy. I love getting after it, and I think that's really what makes practice fun, is like competing. Like if practice were a cakewalk every day and it was just like sitting around for 3 hours doing whatever, like it wouldn't really be that fun.
I completely agree. I mean, and I watched some of your practices, and you guys go at it, so it's really is a lot of fun. So you've like I said, you've been all this year. Talk a little bit about how this coaching staff, Coach Behrens, Coach Phil Pott, all the guys, Coach Matty came in, and the culture they put in you guys, and how does that take in the program? Because I remember I think it was 2-9 season, whatever, 2-9 to being 13-1 in the championship, 12-1 championship. How does that culture change? Because you kind of experienced kind of the both sides of it. They're really strong, they're really struggling, but the championship. How does that has changed for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, our coaches are amazing. They're so great. I think they do a really good job preparing us and pushing us. And I mean, I'd be confident in saying we have the best coaching staff in the state.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Coach Behrens does a great job. I mean, I was lifting in the off season, all off season, so I got to know him a lot better. And he's really great. And Crandall, who's our linebackers coach.
Connors, I know him.
Yeah, Coach Connors. He does a really good job preparing us, D-line, going over film. Coach Phil Pott, really great. I mean, he's the mastermind of our whole defense. So everything we do really comes down from him. He's the mastermind. And
it's the quiet ones you got to worry about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Now Coach Smith, who's just stepped in for our special teams, he's been doing a really good job getting us prepared on the special teams front. Yeah.
I think you guys have been like, I don't think you've attempted a field goal yet. And the punts have, I definitely noticed the punt team has been a lot better this year. I think Josh punting well, but at the Ridgefield game, there's a couple change of fields there that were really key for you guys as well. So kudos to him for doing that. And and I now ask, as I kind of know the answer, but I got to ask anyway. Is anything short of a championship, like not good for you? I mean, what is your aspirations for this year?
Aspirations for this year is winning the championship. I think if we come, like anything other than that is coming short. So we just want to defend the crown. Yeah.
And it's difficult because now you're going from hunting to the one being hunted, right? So everybody's going to gun for you guys, but I think it's going to be great. And, football aside, Staples, how has the school been for you? Let's start. What's your favorite teacher in school?
Favorite teacher? I got to go Mr. Jones. He was my chemistry AP Chem teacher last year.
And you and I would be chemistry was the one subject I was never good at. Is that something you're good at?
That was honestly like one of my favorite classes. I had it with with a couple of my friends. Yeah, and I really liked him as a teacher. So
yeah. It helps, right? Because you like the subject and you end up getting to teach a little more. I remember my favorite was always an English teacher because he always had these wild stories, right? During class.
Yeah, that's Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones got the stories.
Yeah, so then that makes it keeps you, right? Keeps your attention, right? Yeah. And did you play any other sports, or was you always just football?
Yeah, so I played lacrosse freshman, sophomore year. And then just wanted to focus on football, focus on recruiting. Little rec basketball here and there.
Everybody plays basketball, right? Yeah, a little bit, but competitive football has always been your thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's what your heart is. And that's fine. I mean, I think, everyone's journey is different, right? Through it all, right? And, What is outside the football field? Can you share like one of your favorite moments at Staples as a student?
Honestly, probably in chemistry class, doing the labs. That's another reason I really love it. Because you get to do the labs and you're
Yeah.
like burning stuff, whatever, and sometimes you might burn a couple of things that weren't supposed to be burned.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, it's just like fun with your friends, like doing the labs.
So now, being a big chemistry guy, did you watch Breaking Bad then?
Yep,
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
Breaking Bad.
Right.
Better Call Saul too.
Yeah,
Yep.
both. I mean, I think like Breaking Bad was one of the shows, probably the first show that I truly binge watched. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't get enough of it. Like it was already over, and I was like, it's like 3 a.m. My wife and I, should we go another one? Yeah, why not? I mean, it's
Yeah.
3 a.m. We're gonna wake
Yeah.
up in a few hours. Let's just go another one.
Yeah.
But but that's but I think it's interesting because what that show did for chemistry is like a lot of people are like, wow, you can really take what you learn in the classroom and
Yeah.
apply it, not to that, but it to the everyday life. Like I remember the scenes where he talked about he's trying to get a bin. He's like, well, acid won't burn through this kind of plastic.
Yeah.
Things that I didn't learn in school, and I'm learning through the show. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
cool stuff.
Uh-huh.
So to your point, it is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But any experience went terribly wrong in class?
Oh no.
Nothing, right?
No, we didn't have to use like the chemical burn, like face wash or whatever.
Nothing like that.
No,
He's keeping
no.
you guys
Yeah.
in a really
No,
good
we're
way.
safe.
We're
Yeah.
safe, yeah. No, that's really cool. Now, do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do. I have 2 younger sisters. So the younger sister is a freshman now. She plays soccer.
Play soccer.
Yeah, and then the other one's in 7th grade.
Seventh
So,
grade. Okay,
yeah.
so you're the oldest one in the family.
Yep.
Okay. And did you always live in Westport?
No, I've actually lived in a lot of places.
All right, talk to that.
I came to Westport in 3rd grade.
Okay.
So I've been here for a while. 2 different houses. I moved in summer going into 7th grade. Moved closer to Staples. But before Westport, I lived in Scarsdale, New York.
Okay, yeah.
And then before that, lived in Chicago.
Oh, were you born in Chicago?
Nope.
Where you born?
Before that, I lived in California. So I was born in San Francisco.
You're a San Francisco kid.
Yeah,
Wow. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Are you like a 49ers fan?
Yep.
All
I
right.
am.
I mean, I could sense that.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story. So I grew up in Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Right? And this is way before your time. You're talking about, I was born in 80.
Yep.
So before, this whole, I guess, digitalized world,
Yeah.
in Brazil, like the only thing they would do is they would show one football game a
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
And the only team they showed over and over was the 49ers.
Okay.
Because Montana, right? In
Yeah.
the 80s, Montana was Montana. So it's
Uh-huh.
like, that was the only team. So if you go to Brazil at any point, my generation, like everybody's a 49er fan.
That's
Because that was
funny.
the only team they watched,
Yeah.
right? So the country's kind of feeding Joe Montana on you.
Yeah.
And now it's everybody. No, you get all the games.
Yeah.
But it's the same way everybody be a Patriots fan, like it's
Yeah.
Tom Brady, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's that generation.
Yeah.
But it's funny how that goes. So like I grew up watching a lot of the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good, really good team.
Yeah, they are.
And this year's still a very
Yeah,
good team.
we'll see this year.
We'll see. Yeah, but it's so now you got the Giants, you got the Jets fans, you got a good mix, and because you were born there, so you
Yeah.
have a good excuse of being a 49er fan.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
lay you off on that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sports team? Is it the 49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other team that you like?
Honestly, I'm not a big follower of
Really?
sports. Yeah, to be honest,
You just play it.
yeah, which is kind of funny because I play sports, but I don't. I mean, I'll watch like college football.
Uh-huh.
But like honestly, I'll just go to like the best game on. Like not a favorite team.
You don't
so.
do like fantasy leagues, that stuff. None of that.
No. I mean, I'll try to here and there, but like never can really get too
Get
into it.
Yeah, it's like everybody does their thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you got some people who are like, they're so into it, right? And
Yeah.
and I do some too, but it's like, but yeah, and it's interesting because you said like I remember what was it? Jeter's the one that played baseball and never watched baseball,
Oh, okay.
right? So you're
yeah.
good company.
Yeah, yeah.
You're very good company.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I don't ever remember that story, but I remember him telling me a story like that when he went to I guess A-Rod went to his house one time. It's like the game on, and Jeter didn't have like the MLB package where he could watch all the games. And A-Rod's like, "What is this? Don't you play baseball?" He goes, "I play it. I don't watch it." Right? So that's
funny.
So that's a good story there.
Yeah.
But all right. So you were born in San Francisco, Chicago, and any favorite? Well, I guess any favorite place you lived?
I mean, I don't remember any of those places too well, really.
So your memory.
Oh
kinda sucks.
shoot, I forgot to say I also lived in the city.
Oh, so
Jeez, yeah.
So from Chicago, you moved to the city.
Yeah, Chicago City, Scarsdale, here.
Oh wow, okay. So
Yeah, a lot of places.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, I moved around. I moved a lot around a lot too. So I was born in Brazil. So I lived in 2 cities in Brazil. Then from there we went to Tennessee,
Okay.
and that's where I played some football.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I got in Tennessee, and there was coming from Brazil soccer. There was no soccer team.
Yeah.
So during this we were playing kickball in middle school,
Yeah.
and the assistant football coach was the PE teacher. So he rolls a soccer ball, and I boom it. He goes, "You're playing football." He goes, so next thing you know, I'm the kicker punter. So I played a couple of years. I had a blast.
Nice.
So that's why I know there's no feeling like stepping on that field on Friday night.
Yeah.
You guys get, it gets the crowds, you get everybody excited.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is a lot of fun. Yeah. But listen, it's been so much fun watching you guys play. I mean, I tell you, and we talk to people all the time, and it's the best thing of the week. We look forward to that Friday night. So it's a lot of fun. So thank you for everything you guys do.
No, thank you.
Before we let you go, I do want to do some quick hits with you. So we're going to get some personal, not too personal, but some personal with you, all right? So let's go through this. All right. What's your favorite all-time smell?
Smell. I got to say my mom's crock pot cooking coming home after practice.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Any specific dish she makes that's like your favorite?
Yeah, I got to go with she does this barbecue chicken that I love and put it on like some rolls. It's really good.
I like that. Is it like a whole chicken or is it like shredded?
Shredded.
Chicken? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good too. What's your all-time favorite family vacation?
Vacation. Oh, I gotta say going to Utah and like snowboarding in the winter. I love to snowboard. Yeah.
So you've skied in Utah. Do you ever ski in the Northeast?
Yes. Yeah. Not.
I know the feeling.
I mean, it's way different than out west, but I mean it's skiing. So
yeah, it's because we got in. Well, my kids were young. I got into it later, so I started snowboarding. I'm a skier in the in my late 30s.
Yeah.
So but I learned here in the Northeast, and the first time I went west to ski like in actual powder, I couldn't do it because it's so much heavier.
Stay up on top.
I'm skiing on ice here, right? It's like I'm skiing on. Especially when you go on in the season. Like if you go like in November, it's ice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, it's narrow. There's not snow anywhere else. So I'm talking about.
Couple dirt patches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You go in the dirt, but that's awesome. I do so three of us. So my oldest son, myself, my wife ski, but then my younger son, he does snowboarding and skiing.
Okay. Yeah, I used to ski. I used to ski, so
just went over the dark side.
Yeah, I'd see people snowboard. I was like, that's pretty cool. So
he would be like, if there's a day he's tired, he would take the skis on, and most days he'll go snowboard. If he needs a rest, it feels like it's like
his legs tired. Yeah, exactly. Snowboarding's tiring.
Snowboarding's tiring, so
tiring.
He'll get a rest. He'll ski that day.
Yeah,
but it's great that you can do both. It's not a lot of people can do it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Westport restaurant?
Does Kava count?
Yeah.
Kava, yeah.
I love Kava too.
Yeah, I love Kava. I go there. I mean, in the summer, I'd go maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
I'd say I go at least twice a week.
Yeah.
I go usually we'll do a Tuesday night, and usually either if a Sunday night, watching football, it's nice to get that. If you get a pizza, you get Kava. It's a little lighter than the pizza usually everybody gets. But I love Kava. Yeah. I mean, they've really. I mean, it's always packed.
Yeah.
And it's like they haven't been around long, but it's
I mean, I think a Chipotle would do great here. I mean, there used to be one right at next to Trader Joe's.
Yeah. I remember that.
I used to go there when I was younger, but I don't know what happened. Yeah.
I know. Well, Chipotle. Then we used to have Qdoba. Remember that left. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they don't stay.
Yeah.
Even Jersey Mike's around. I used to like.
Jersey Mike's used to be right there too. Yeah, I used to go there a lot too.
Yeah, so. Jersey Mike's. I don't know what happened. Hey, but hopefully Kava stays. So if you're listening, go to Kava. Let's keep it going, right?
Yeah, please.
What is one guilty pleasure song in your playlist?
I gotta go with like a Katy Perry song or something
Are you like a fan of Katy Perry or just specifically songs?
No, I can't think of the song right now.
But it's all right.
I don't want to sing it, but it's It's we'll listen to it at practice sometimes or something like
Now,
during a lift.
I've been around your practice. Your playlist is very eclectic. There's
There's a lot of wide range.
There is. I'm like, this is definitely a girl song playing in practice, right?
Exactly.
And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's so funny because all this, bunch of guys hitting each other, just a Katy Perry tune. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. What is the last series you binge watched?
Probably Breaking Bad, to be honest. I honestly don't watch too much TV.
Okay.
So probably Breaking Bad.
What is your go-to late night snack?
Probably. I mean, I honestly don't snack too much. It's like, how do you like a protein shake? Honestly, like before.
I like that.
Before bed, like that's honestly like my snack.
that doesn't get you riled up. You can drink that and go right to bed.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, listen, I know people who drink coffee before going to bed, which
really.
Yeah. To me, go like that. I got people. Sometimes you're like late at night. And then it's like, you're just about ready to go home and have a coffee. I'm like, if I have a coffee now, I'm going to be up for the next 3 hours. And people drinking and go straight to bed. I'm like, we're going to do it. Everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
All right. Aside from family and football, name one thing you can't live without.
Probably my friends. Also, video games.
So what's your video game, go-to video game?
Right now, probably like Overwatch or Battlefield.
Okay, so you're like more that kind of genre, right?
Yeah.
So I had Coach Barron's in here.
Mm-hmm.
We talked video games and ping pong, right?
Okay.
He told me he doesn't lose in ping pong, so I got to play in ping pong.
Yep.
And then a video game, I told him that he's a fan, play a lot of Mario Kart.
Okay.
And he said he's better at Mario Kart than he is at ping pong. So we got to do it.
You got to play Mario Kart too.
Yeah, and he was talking about N64 remotes. I mean, he was really deep into into this thing. But he's talked about playing with his nieces and all that.
Yeah.
But video games, I feel like they. I don't think they used to get a bad rap, but there's a lot it goes with how you prepare how your mentally works. There's a lot to it that I think, especially like in football, not to bring it back to video football. But, you guys have like 1-2 seconds to figure out what the play is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and when you're doing things in I feel video games, you have to really be on your toes, right?
Yeah,
The whole time, especially when you're playing.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, not so much.
Yeah.
But that. But that's interesting. So that's, you play like with your buddies late at night, as you guys do?
Yeah. I mean, just like whatever downtime I get, which honestly isn't too much, but it's just like, I really like it for like unwinding, that sort of thing.
It's kind of relaxing. I totally agree. Well, not if you're competing with
I mean, sometimes it's not very relaxing. It'll get me riled up, but also the new college football game.
Oh,
play that, but that game made me really angry, so I can't really play that anymore. My mom doesn't let me, so.
I know and that's the thing too. Like my son be playing it, and he'd be like angry and come out half. He goes, "No, it's just a game. I'm just it's already." But it's competition. I think it's in your blood. Like you like the competition of it. I totally get that. Yeah. So we're gonna end with this. If you could go back and relive one day in your life, which day would that be? Let's take the championship game aside.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but let's see, like, if you could go back and relive one day in your life, watch it or be in it, what would that be?
Like football related too?
Can be anything. Yeah, be anything football related, family related, anything you'd like to do.
That's a hard question.
What would make you think?
Yeah, jeez. Honestly, like my sophomore year, gotta be just like one night, like hanging out with my friends. Like sophomore year was honestly like a great year. Loved sophomore year because like I feel like it's like that perfect year where you're kind of like settled into like high school and like you kind of like don't have too much work, so it's like you kind of get to hang out with your friends a lot too. And there's just one night where I remember thinking like this is so fun. Just like going out with my friends. So that's got to be it. Yeah, just hanging out with my friends, and building the connections.
Yeah, it's interesting you say because sophomore year is like the freshman year. You're nervous because you haven't found your place yet, like in everything. Right?
Yeah. Sophomore
year, you don't need to worry about college yet.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
You're just hanging. You're just going to class. You're just having a good time and doing that's the first time I heard that. But you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sophomore year is a very good year.
Yeah.
And it goes by fast, isn't it? It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, blink of an eye. Like, I still can't really believe I'm a senior. So
Next year you're gone, right?
yeah, I mean, I don't even want to think about that right now.
I know it'll go by fast, but it's all stages, right? I mean, you go from stage to stage, and and things get better, but you always remember fondly. And I think that what you guys have built here is really impressive. It's going to be around forever.
Yeah, I hope so.
No doubt. I mean, I think and just and you're kind of living it. But one thing that I don't know if you guys realize, like, when you guys win these games and you get far, like, we all get to live it too, right? Because we get to go. So when I say, like, I want you guys there, I want to be on that field again on a championship game, right?
Yeah.
But for me to get there, you guys need to get there. So we're going to be rooting for you guys so hard, covering you guys. And thank you for everything you do.
Yeah,
thank you. Want to wish you guys, best of luck on the rest of the games. And we'll be there.
All right. Thank you.
Davis, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.